Have you ever been accused of doing something that you know you did not do? This is what happened to Devon Liske and the fact that his family was murdered, and he says that he is innocent. If you want to know more about this case, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
On the evening of Halloween 2004, 16-year-old Devon Griffin returned to his family home in Martin, Ohio, and believed he had stumbled onto a prank when he found the bodies of his brother, his mother, and stepfather. Devon Griffin discovered the bodies of his slain family members, Derek Griffin, 23, Susan Liske, and her husband, William. When he returned home after attending church, the teenager told authorities it looked like a joke from a Halloween party. Ottawa County Sheriff Bob Barton said he soon realized it wasn't and ran outside and called an aunt who called 911. Now, even though Devon had been having some trouble earlier that year, people are saying that he was the culprit in this murder. And some people are saying, including himself, that he may be innocent. I have to wonder, what would many of you do if you came home after attending church on Halloween and found your whole family murdered in the way that his family was murdered? Because the police and authorities are saying that it looked like something out of a horror movie. Even though he thought it was a prank in the beginning, he is now being charged and convicted of this crime, which he says that he did not commit. William Liske's 24-year-old son, also named William Liske, was arrested Sunday near the family's cabin, 70 miles from Martin. Liske reportedly has a history of mental illness and could suffer from schizophrenia. They've had a lot of trouble with him with the law, and he's threatened Susan before, but there's been all kinds of trouble. Griffin's aunt, Lori Morris, told CBS affiliate WTOL. So even though Devon is being accused of this crime, it could have possibly been the husband of Devon's mother, son, who was the one to commit this crime, because he's also known to have a past with the law, and he's also schizophrenic. It was also reported that in 2004, the son, the younger Liske, was charged with assault and robbery. He was accused of hitting his stepmother with a coffee cup and taking her car keys. A plea of not guilty by reason of insanity was filed for him. The state later dropped the charges. The suspect is currently being held on $1 million bond. So far, Liske has only been charged with his father's murder. Ottawa County Prosecutor Mark Mullen believes the killings were premeditated and could be up to 3 counts of aggravated murder. Now, I have to say that this is really strange because why are they pinning this on Devon or made it look like he's doing it when the brother who suffers from schizophrenia is known to have a history with doing things to his stepmother and his father, and he's also known to be, like I said, schizophrenic. And this would lean me more towards Devon's side of being innocent and not his stepbrother, I guess you could call him, because I mean, come on, you hit this woman with the coffee cup, take her keys. So who knows what else you are liable to do if you are not on your medication and you have a trigger or something sets you off. This could have been the case on that Halloween when Devon, 16 years old at the time, comes home from church and thinks he stumbled onto a prank because of the way the scene looks. But then he realizes that, okay, this is not a prank, and he goes outside and calls for help. I mean, that is something to consider when looking at this case. And then I also have to ask the question, when was the last time this particular son that suffers from schizophrenia, when was he last seen or spotted at the home, and when was he seen leaving? Was it the day before Halloween, the day of Halloween? Which one was it? And what time was it? And or was he spotted leaving after Devon had left for church? Because if that's the case, he could have been the one to commit this crime. Now, not saying that Devon didn't really do it, but it's also, also a thing to look at was, can anybody prove that Devon went to church? Was he seen there? Did he leave at any point in time and come back? I mean, what are some of the facts surrounding this case? Because you have to look at all of this stuff, because if he left before his brother left the house and then his family winds up dead, of course, he's not the actual killer. His brother, who suffers from schizophrenia, is. The Ottawa County prosecutor also added that a potential witness spotted some aspects of the crime, but did not witness the actual killings. WTOL says, now, when they say they spotted some aspects of the crime, but didn't witness the actual killings, who did they see committing these quote unquote aspects of the crime? Was it the brother who suffers from schizophrenia, or was it Derek? And I mean, you have to, Devon, you have to ask these questions, because if Derek was supposed to be at church when this happened, if Devon was supposed to be at church when this happened, he couldn't have been the killer. The Lisks and Derek Griffin suffered trauma to the head, but it was not immediately clear whether a gunshot or blunt object was used to kill them. Ottawa County Sheriff Bob Barton said. William Liske Jr. is scheduled to appear in court again on November 10th. Now, remember, this was in 2004, so this was many years ago. And apparently, Devon Griffin, Devon Liske is basically serving a life sentence in prison for the murders of his family members. And I still think that the police and investigators need to take a closer look at this brother and see if they can prove that Devon was in church, that he had left before the murders actually occurred. And if he didn't leave church at any point in time and come back, that can prove that he was not the killer. And if the neighbor or the witness can recall what time they saw these quote unquote aspects of the killing and not the actual killings, that can also help Devon in his case. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to leave me a like, a comment in the comment section below, and let me know what you think of this case. And please be sure to share this video. And if you have not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you on the next one.